First, a large group of concerned and angry locals gathered at a protest on Teesside over the weekend against a planned housing development. The £45 million development for 400 homes has been proposed for Flats Lane in Eston in the Redcar and Cleveland area. People against the plan say the woodland area is under threat. The developers reject that. They say they're proposing to build on farmland next to the country park. Craig Hornby is one of the campaigners.
Well, today we're meeting people that we've hooked up with on social media and just kind of bringing people up to speed with the latest situation, which I believe is the greatest threat to Eston Hills in a very long time, you know. The parkway has been the barrier between the urban concrete jungle of Teesside and this natural space to the south. Middlesbrough's got something like 1% tree cover, which is, and the national average for most places is 10%. You can't have this huge development right next to a country park and expect all the animals to feel and the wildlife to not be affected.
Let's try and clarify this again then. Chris Harrison is from the developers Theakston Land. Chris, morning to you.
Good morning.
Hiya. Just to be clear, this is farmland where the development has been proposed, isn't it?
That's absolutely correct. It's agricultural land, has been for many years, and that's where the proposals are. It's adjacent to the country park, but it isn't within the country park.
So how would you respond to what Craig has just told us?
The barrier of the A174 has already been broken by virtue of the developments at Hornby Bank, which have been there for many years, and also a recent planning permission at Longbank Farm. But what this development will not result in is ribbon development all the way down to Wilton Village, as a number of people have expressed concerns about. The land, as we progress further east, is constrained by pylons, by gas pipelines, and indeed is identified as a sensitive landscape.
You've made the point about the shortage of housing in Redcar and Cleveland. What about the economic impact on these proposed developments?
Yeah, I mean, the economic benefits of the scheme, it's a £45 million inward investment. We're also looking to make a significant contribution to the country park to help secure its future and deliver investment through new play equipment, new paths and interpretation boards, new viewing areas and so on. But throughout the construction period, this scheme would result in 125 full-time jobs within the construction sector over a period of roughly 8 years. And 90% of raw materials and employment for a construction site are typically secured within a 10-mile radius of any development. And once complete, the household expenditure of the development would support nearly 80 jobs in the retail sector. So, yeah, an important inward investment into Redcar and Teesside more generally.
And where, just remind people where you are with these proposals, because Redcar and Cleveland Council saying they haven't even received a planning application for the development yet.
That's correct. We've been in discussions with the council, with the community through public consultation events and so on. We're currently undertaking a series of technical studies which will inform a planning application to be submitted shortly.
Thank you very much indeed. Appreciate the update on that. I think we've got the Town's MP with us, have we?
We have, yeah. Let's speak live now to Redcar MP Anna Turley. Good morning, Anna.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you?
Morning. Now, you're so against this development.
Sorry.
That's all right. You're so against this development. You've launched a petition. Why are you so against it?
Well, it's the position of it that's just untenable. It may not be exactly right in the country park, but it's right on top of it. And it's on top of a bridleway where thousands of people walk their dogs every day, every weekend, all through the year. It's part of our natural environment. And if we don't preserve it, once it's gone, it's gone. And there are plenty of sites across Redcar and Cleveland that are ready for development. Brownfield sites or sites where we've lost housing in the past. And they're far more appropriate places to build on. I'm not against every single development, but I am against this one because it's just simply in a place that's going to devastate what's left of our natural environment, and we've got to fight to protect it.
Surely, though, there's a need for more affordable housing, especially in our local area, isn't there?
Absolutely, we do need more affordable housing, but as I said, there's plenty of areas we can do that. If you look at areas like South Bank and others where we've actually lost housing, and you've now got sort of wasteland and places that could be built on to regenerate and revitalise areas that desperately need regeneration. Instead of building on those kind of sites, which could help turn communities around and restore some of our local communities to regenerate them, why are we building on a site that's got a huge amount of natural environment? We know there are deer in that area. We know there are great crested newts in a pond that have already been affected. It's an extremely important part of our natural environment on the Eston Hills, which have great historic value as well. And that's why I've had 1,300 people sign my petition already, just in a week or so. There's a huge strength of feeling out there in the community, and people are not going to put up with this.
You say on your website there's plenty of sites that could be developed and not destroyed, but not destroying our precious countryside. Where are these sites that you think could be developed on?
Yeah, well, take, for example, South Bank, as I mentioned earlier. Housing was knocked down there in order to build some new housing. And then when the government came in 2010, the coalition government, they scrapped that housing redevelopment. Now, you've got empty streets and even street lamps still there. You've got perfect position to build on there. And in Dormanstown, you've got areas that desperately need affordable housing, desperately need regenerating and revitalising, that are they're crying out really for investment and development. And, why are we ignoring them? Well, I know why we're ignoring them and going to the lucrative sites, because it's what developers want and where they'll make their money. For me, it's much, much more important that we target areas that could do with the investment and could do with the regeneration.
Anna Turley, thank you for joining us this morning. That's the
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a Redcar MP there, of course. I think this story is just going to rumble on and on, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, we will bring you the latest as and when it happens.